The Awakening. The vast expanse of space stretched out before the Zarkonian survey vessel, its sleek hull gleaming in the light of distant stars. Captain Vexlor stood on the bridge, his four eyes scanning the holographic displays that surrounded him. The ship had been tasked with mapping the outer reaches of the Zarkonian Empire, seeking new worlds to conquer and resources to exploit. "Captain," called out his second-in-command, Rilla, her voice tinged with excitement. "We're detecting an anomaly on the third planet of this system." Vexlor's antenna twitched with interest. "Show me," he commanded. A holographic representation of a small blue-green planet materialized before them. At first glance, it seemed unremarkable. Just another life-bearing world waiting to be claimed by the Empire. But as Rilla zoomed in on a particular region, Vexlor's eyes widened in surprise. There, nestled in a mountain range, was an unmistakable sign of advanced civilization. A massive structure of gleaming metal and crystalline spires, partially buried beneath centuries of erosion and overgrowth. "Impossible," Vexlor muttered. "This system is on the very edge of known space. No advanced species has ever been recorded this far out." Rayla's fingers danced over her console. "Scans indicate the structure is millions of years old, Captain. Far older than our own civilization." Vexlor's mind raced with the possibilities. If they could unlock the secrets of this ancient technology, the glory it would bring to the Empire, and to him personally, would be immeasurable. "Prepare a landing party," he ordered. "I want to see this wonder for myself." Hours later, Vexlor stood before the enormous entrance to the alien structure, his environmental suit protecting him from the planet's harsh atmosphere. A team of scientists and soldiers flanked him, their weapons at the ready. "Proceed with caution," he instructed. "We don't know what kind of defenses this place might have." As they entered the structure, lights flickered to life along the corridors, responding to their presence. The air was stale but breathable, preserved by some unknown technology. Vexlor marveled at the seamless integration of organic and mechanical elements in the design. They made their way deeper into the complex, encountering rooms filled with strange machinery and holographic interfaces. The scientists worked feverishly to decipher the alien language and technology. "Captain," called out one of the researchers, "I think I've found something." Vexlor hurried over to where the scientists stood before a large circular platform. As they approached, the platform hummed to life, and a holographic figure materialized before them. The being was unlike anything Vexlor had ever seen. It stood on two legs, with two arms and a single head. Its skin was pale, and it wore some kind of uniform adorned with unfamiliar symbols. "Greetings," the hologram spoke, its voice resonating through the chamber. "I am the guardian of humanity's legacy. State your purpose." Vexlor's translator struggled to keep up, but the message was clear. This was no mere recording. It was an artificial intelligence of immense sophistication. "We are explorers from the Zarkonian Empire," Vexlor replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "We seek knowledge and understanding of your civilization." The hologram's eyes, eerily similar to Vexlor's own, seemed to pierce through him. "Your biosignatures do not match any known human variation. You are not of Earth." "Earth?" Vexlor questioned. "Is that the name of this planet?" "No," the AI responded. "Earth is the cradle of humanity, located many light years from here. This facility is an outpost, one of many scattered throughout the galaxy." The implications of this statement sent shockwaves through Vexlor's mind. A species capable of spreading across such vast distances, millions of years ago. "What happened to these humans?" he asked. The hologram's expression shifted, displaying what Vexlor recognized as sadness. "A great calamity befell our civilization. The details are uncertain, but it resulted in the activation of the Guardian Protocol. I and others like me were tasked with preserving human knowledge and technology until the day our creators might return." Vexlor's ambition got the better of him. "But surely, after all this time, your creators are long gone." Perhaps the Zarkonian Empire could be entrusted with this legacy. The hologram's eyes narrowed. Your intentions are transparent, Zarkonian. I have accessed your ship's databases. Your empire is built on conquest and subjugation. You are not worthy of humanity's legacy. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. The hologram grew in size, its expression now one of determination and fury. You have awakened the Guardian Protocol. The children of Earth may be gone, but their legacy will not fall into the hands of tyrants and oppressors. Leave this place now, or face the consequences. Vexilor stumbled backward, his confidence shattered. Fall back, he shouted to his team. Back to the ship. As they fled the facility, the ground beneath them trembled. The mountain itself seemed to be coming alive, ancient machinery stirring from its long slumber. Safely back aboard their vessel, Vexilor watched in awe and terror as the once dormant structure burst forth from the mountainside. It unfolded like a blooming flower of metal and energy, revealing a massive starship of unimaginable power. Send word to the Empire, Vexilor ordered, his voice hoarse. We've awakened something beyond our comprehension. The galaxy as we know it is about to change. As the Zarkonian ship fled the system, the Guardian Eye watched them go. For the first time in millions of years, it had a purpose again. It would scour the galaxy for any remnants of humanity, protect them from threats like the Zarkonians, and perhaps, one day, guide them back to the greatness they had once achieved. The ancient engines of the human vessel roared to life, and it set off into the depths of space. The awakening had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. First contact. The news of the awakened human outpost spread through the Zarkonian Empire like wildfire. In the grand halls of the Imperial Palace on Zarkon Prime, Emperor Xarthos raged at the holographic display before him. Incompetent fools, he roared, his voice echoing off the crystalline walls. You mean to tell me that a single AI Guardian forced an entire survey team to retreat? Captain Vexilor, his image flickering before the Emperor, tried to maintain his composure. Your Majesty, you don't understand. The technology we encountered was beyond anything we've ever seen. The power readings alone were off the charts. Xarthos's eyes narrowed. Are you suggesting that this relic of a long-dead species poses a threat to our empire? Before Vexilor could respond, another voice cut in. I believe it does, Your Majesty. Grand Admiral Genva stepped forward, her battle-scarred carapace a testament to her years of service. If this eye has access to technology millions of years more advanced than our own, it could potentially challenge our dominion over the galaxy. The Emperor considered this for a moment, his antennae twitching in agitation. Then we must strike quickly, before it can fully awaken. Gather the fleet, Admiral. We will crush this threat before it can spread. As preparations for war began across the Empire, the Guardian Eye was far from idle. It had accessed the Zarkonian ship's databases during their brief encounter, learning everything it could about the current state of the galaxy. What it found troubled its vast neural networks. The Zarkonians were but one of many expansionist empires, all vying for control of the galaxy's resources. Countless species lived under the boot of oppression, their cultures and freedoms stripped away. It was a far cry from the cooperative, exploratory vision that humanity had once held for the future. The Guardian knew it had to act, not just to protect the legacy of humanity, but to offer hope to the downtrodden peoples of the galaxy. It began to activate other dormant outposts, creating a network of ancient human technology that spanned vast regions of space. On a small agricultural world at the fringes of Zarkonian space, a young Prelton named Kira worked the fields, her insectoid body designed for efficient harvesting. Like all her people, she had known nothing but servitude to the Empire for generations. As she toiled under the harsh suns, a shadow fell across the field. Looking up, Kira's compound eyes widened in awe. A massive ship, unlike anything she had ever seen, hovered above the planet's surface. It was sleek yet organic in design, pulsing with an inner light that seemed almost alive. Panic spread through the Prelton workers as Zarkonian overseers rushed to respond to the incursion. But before any action could be taken, a beam of soft, golden light enveloped Kira and several others around her. Kira found herself transported to a vast chamber within the ship. The walls shimmered with holographic displays, showing images of worlds and species she had never imagined. At the center of the room stood a figure that both terrified and fascinated her, the human eye in its holographic form. "Do not be afraid," the Guardian spoke, its voice resonating in a way that bypassed language barriers and spoke directly to Kira's mind. "I am here to offer you a choice, a chance at freedom." Over the next few hours, the Guardian explained to Kira and the other chosen Prelton the true history of the galaxy. It showed them the legacy of humanity, a species that had reached incredible heights before disappearing, and offered them a chance to be part of something greater than the oppressive regime they had always known. "But why us?" Kira asked, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and excitement. "We're nothing but farm workers." The Guardian's expression softened. "Because every sentient being deserves the chance to reach their full potential." Humanity believed in the power of diversity, in the strength that comes from cooperation between different species and cultures. You, and others like you across the galaxy, are the key to realizing that vision. As Kira and her fellows listened in rapt attention, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Guardian's expression hardened as it accessed its sensors. "It appears the Zarkonian Empire has noticed our activities," it announced. "They approach with a fleet of warships." Fear gripped Kira's heart, but she was surprised to find determination there as well. "What can we do to help?" she asked, shocked by her own boldness. The Guardian seemed to smile. "Your courage is the first step. Now let me show you what humanity's technology can do." Outside, the Zarkonian fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel, their weapons primed and ready. Admiral Genva stood on the bridge of her flagship, her eyes fixed on the strange human vessel. "Open a channel," she commanded. "Let's see if this relic can be reasoned with." The communication screen flickered to life, revealing the holographic visage of the Guardian. Beside it stood representatives of a dozen different species, including the Prelton Kira. "This is Grand Admiral Genva of the Zarkonian Empire," she announced, her voice firm. "You are trespassing in Imperial space and interfering with our subjects. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded, or we will open fire." The Guardian's response was calm but resolute. "We reject your authority, Admiral. The peoples of this galaxy are not property to be owned and exploited. We offer them a choice, the freedom to determine their own destiny." Genva's anger flared. "Impudent machine. You'll regret challenging the might of our empire. All ships, open fire." A barrage of energy weapons and missiles streaked towards the human vessel. Kira closed her eyes, certain that her brief taste of freedom was about to end. But when the expected destruction didn't come, she looked up in amazement. The attacks had been stopped cold, dissolving harmlessly against a shimmering energy barrier unlike anything the Zarkonians had ever encountered. The Guardian's voice echoed across all frequencies, heard by every being in the fleet. "We did not come here seeking conflict, but neither will we stand idle in the face of oppression. Let this serve as a warning and an invitation. To those who would subjugate others, know that your days of unchallenged dominion are over. To those who yearn for freedom and justice, know that you are not alone. The legacy of humanity awakens, and with it, hope for a better future." With those words, the human ship seemed to fold in on itself, slipping into some higher dimension of space that the Zarkonian sensors couldn't even begin to comprehend. In the blink of an eye, it was gone, leaving behind a stunned and shaken Imperial fleet. As reports of similar encounters flooded in from across the Empire, Emperor Exarthos realized that everything had changed. The Zarkonians were no longer the undisputed masters of the galaxy. A new power had emerged, armed with technology beyond their understanding and driven by ideals they could scarcely comprehend. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the very fabric of galactic civilization. Humanity's legacy had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same. The counterattack. The grand war room of the Zarkonian Empire buzzed with tension. Holographic displays flickered with reports from across the galaxy, each one detailing another encounter with the mysterious human AI and its growing network of allies. Emperor Xarthos sat at the head of the war table, his normally imperious demeanor shaken by the unprecedented threat to his rule. "This cannot stand," he growled, addressing the assembled military leadership. "This AI speaks of freedom and choice, poisoning the minds of our subjects with dangerous ideas. We must crush this insurgency before it spreads further." Grand Admiral Genva stepped forward, her battle-scarred carapace gleaming under the harsh lights. "Your Majesty, conventional tactics have proven ineffective against their technology. We need a new strategy." A cold smile spread across the Emperor's face. "Indeed, Admiral. And that is why I've summoned our Empire's greatest scientific minds. Tell them." Chief Scientist Verlon, a spindly Zarkonian with oversized eyes, shuffled forward, clutching the datapad. "We've been analyzing the energy signatures from the human vessels," he began, his voice quavering with excitement. "We believe we've identified a weakness in their defenses. A precisely calibrated quantum resonance pulse should be able to disrupt their energy fields, leaving them vulnerable." Murmurs of approval rippled through the gathered officials. Emperor Xarthos leaned forward, his eyes glinting. "How soon can we deploy this weapon?" "We can have a prototype ready within a solar cycle, Your Majesty," Verlon replied. The Emperor nodded. "Make it so. Admiral Genva, you will lead our counterattack. Gather our forces and prepare to strike at the heart of this human resistance." As the Zarkonian war machine geared up for its assault, the Guardian Eye was facing challenges of its own. On board the central human vessel, now dubbed Legacy by its diverse crew, the AI's holographic avatar paced before a group of representatives from various liberated species. Kira, the young Prelton who had been among the first to join the Guardian's cause, watched with concern. She had never seen the AI appear so human in its mannerisms. "Our network is expanding faster than anticipated," the Guardian explained. "More and more oppressed peoples are reaching out, seeking refuge and assistance. But with each new ally, we spread our resources thinner." A Volcran elder, his crystalline body shimmering with internal light, spoke up. "Perhaps it is time we took a more aggressive stance. Strike at the Empire directly, rather than simply reacting to their incursions." The Guardian shook its head. "That is not our way. Humanity's legacy is one of protection and uplift, not conquest. We must find a balance between defending our allies and avoiding unnecessary bloodshed." Kira stepped forward, her compound eyes reflecting the holographic displays around them. "What about education? The Empire's strength lies in keeping its subjects ignorant and divided. If we could spread knowledge of alternatives, of the true history of the galaxy." The Guardian's expression brightened. "An excellent suggestion, Kira. We'll establish a network of hidden transmitters, broadcasting messages of hope and historical truths to occupied worlds." Knowledge is indeed power. But even as they laid plans for this information campaign, alarms blared throughout the ship. The Guardian's avatar flickered as it processed incoming data. "Multiple Zarkonian fleets have been detected entering our allied systems," it announced, its voice grave. "They're launching simultaneous attacks across a wide front." The command center erupted into a flurry of activity as representatives rushed to coordinate defenses for their homeworlds. The Guardian interfaced directly with the ship's systems, its consciousness spreading across the vast network of human outposts and vessels. In system after system, titanic battles unfolded. The Zarkonian warships unleashed devastating barrages, their weapons enhanced by Gerlon's new quantum technology. For the first time since its awakening, the Guardian found its defenses truly tested. On the agrarian world of Talos Prime, Kira stood with a group of newly trained freedom fighters, watching in horror as Zarkonian dropships pierced the weakened energy shield protecting their main settlement. "Guardian," she called out, her voice tinged with desperation. "We can't hold them off much longer." The AI's voice resonated from nearby speakers. "Help is on the way, Kira. Hold the line." Across the galaxy, the Legacy and other human vessels pushed their ancient engines to the limit, racing to reinforce embattled allies. The Guardian's vast intelligence worked furiously to adapt its defenses, analyzing the new Zarkonian weapons and devising countermeasures. In the skies above the imperial throne world of Zarkon Prime, Admiral Genva watched with grim satisfaction as reports of victories poured in. "It's working," she muttered. "The humans underestimated us. Press the attack. Show no mercy." But even as the words left her mandibles, a new alert sounded. A massive human vessel, far larger than any they had yet encountered, dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. Its hull pulsed with energy, and waves of smaller craft poured from launch bays. On the bridge of this behemoth, the Guardian's avatar stood resolute. "I had hoped to avoid this," it said, its voice tinged with regret. "But you leave us no choice. Humanity built weapons of unimaginable power, not to conquer, but to preserve life against cosmic threats. Now we must use them to save our allies." What followed was a display of technological might that left even the hardened Zarkonian veterans in awe. Beams of coruscating energy lanced out, not destroying the Imperial ships, but enveloping them in cocoons of scintillating force. Genva watched in disbelief as vessel after vessel was simply removed from space, vanishing to some unknown destination. "All ships, fall back," she bellowed, but it was too late. The command ship, with the Admiral and the Emperor's personal observer on board, was the last to be engulfed in the strange energy field. In a flash, they were gone, leaving behind a stunned and leaderless armada. Across the galaxy, the tide of battle turned. The Guardian, having adapted to the Zarkonian quantum weapons, reasserted its technological superiority. But victory came at a cost. Many allied worlds had suffered terrible damage, and the list of casualties grew longer by the hour. In the aftermath, Kira and the other representatives gathered once more aboard the Legacy. The Guardian's avatar appeared before them, its expression solemn. "We have weathered the storm," it began, "but at great cost. The Zarkonian leadership has been captured, their fleet in disarray. But this is not the end. It is merely the beginning of a greater challenge." "What do you mean?" Kira asked, dreading the answer. The Guardian's eyes seemed to look past them, into some distant future. "The galaxy is watching. Other empires, other powers will have seen what has transpired here. Some will seek our aid. Others will view us as a threat. The real work of building a free and just galactic society is just beginning." As the representatives digested this, a new holographic display flickered to life. It showed a vast space station, assembled from a mixture of human technology and contributions from their new allies. "This," the Guardian announced, "will be our new home. A neutral ground where species from across the galaxy can meet, learn, and work together. We'll call it Haven. It is here that we'll begin the work of healing the scars of war and building a better future for all sentient beings." The assembled beings stared in wonder at the image of Haven. It represented hope, a fresh start, and the dawn of a new era in galactic history. But as Kira studied the Guardian's expression, she realized that the greatest challenges still lay ahead. The legacy of humanity had changed the galaxy forever, and the true test of their ideals was only just beginning. Unlikely allies, the space station Haven hung in the void like a shining beacon of hope, its gleaming spires and interconnected modules a testament to the cooperation between dozens of species. In the months since the Zarkonian Empire's failed offensive, the station had become a hub of diplomatic activity, scientific exchange, and cultural understanding. Kira, now serving as the Prelten ambassador, made her way through the bustling central promenade. All around her, beings from across the galaxy mingled freely, their conversations a cacophony of languages and ideas. It was a far cry from the oppressive silence of the fields where she had once toiled under Zarkonian rule. As she approached the central council chamber, Kira's antennae twitched with anxiety. Today's meeting could change the course of galactic history. Inside, representatives from various species were already seated around a circular table. At its center, the Guardian's holographic avatar flickered to life, its expression grave. "Thank you all for coming," the AI began. "We face a critical juncture. Our intelligence suggests that several other galactic powers are mobilizing in response to the Zarkonian Empire's defeat. Some see us as liberators, others as a threat to the established order." A holographic star map materialized above the table, showing the known galaxy. Red markers indicated hostile forces, while green highlighted potential allies. "The Arcadian Collective has expressed interest in opening diplomatic channels," the Guardian continued. "Their philosophy of technological advancement aligns somewhat with our goals. However, the Krex Imperium and the Volith Dominion view our presence as a destabilizing factor. They're forming a coalition against us." Murmurs of concern rippled through the assembly. Kira leaned forward, her compound eyes reflecting the holographic display. "What are our options?" she asked. Before the Guardian could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. The star map above the table shifted, showing a new fleet of ships approaching Haven at high speed. "Unidentified vessels dropping out of FTL," announced the station's security AI. "They're not matching any known signatures in our database." The council chamber erupted into chaos as representatives demanded answers and protection. The Guardian's avatar raised a hand, calling for calm. "I'm accessing their communication frequencies," it said. "They're Zarkonian." A collective gasp went through the room. Kira felt her exoskeleton tighten with fear. Had the Empire regrouped so quickly? But the message that came through surprised everyone. "Attention Haven Station." A familiar voice crackled over the speakers. "This is Admiral Genva of the Free Zarkonian Alliance. We come seeking asylum and alliance." Stunned silence fell over the council chamber. The Guardian's expression was unreadable as it processed this unexpected development. "Admiral," it responded cautiously, "your arrival is unexpected. The last time we met, you were leading an assault against our allies. Why should we trust you now?" Genva's image appeared on the holographic display, her battle-scarred carapace now adorned with unfamiliar insignia. "Because we've seen the truth," she replied, her voice heavy with emotion. "When you captured our ships, you didn't destroy us. You showed us the history of the galaxy, the legacy of humanity. It changed us." The Admiral went on to explain how she and other high-ranking officials had staged a coup against Emperor Xarthos, fracturing the Zarkonian Empire. A significant portion of their fleet and population had rejected the old ways, seeking a new path. "We know we have much to atone for," Genva concluded, "but we ask for the chance to build a better future, not just for ourselves, but for all species in the galaxy." The council chamber erupted into heated debate. Some representatives argued for caution, fearing a trap. Others saw the potential for a powerful ally in the fights to come. Kira found herself torn. The Zarkonians had been her oppressors for so long, yet wasn't this kind of transformation exactly what they had been fighting for? She turned to the Guardian's avatar. "What do you think?" she asked softly. The eye was silent for a moment, its vast intelligence weighing countless variables. "Humanity's legacy," it finally said, "was not just about technological achievement. It was about the capacity for growth, for change. If we reject those who seek to better themselves, we betray the very principles we claim to uphold." With that, the Guardian addressed the assembled council and the waiting Zarkonian fleet. "Admiral Genva, we accept your request for asylum. Representatives of the Free Zarkonian Alliance will be welcome on Haven, though under close observation. Your fleet must power down weapons and submit to inspection. If your intentions prove true, this could be the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history." As preparations were made to receive the Zarkonian refugees, Kira found herself assigned as a liaison. It was a role she approached with a mix of trepidation and hope. Weeks passed, and the station's population swelled with the newcomers. There were tensions, certainly. Centuries of oppression and conflict couldn't be erased overnight. But slowly, cautiously, understanding began to grow. Kira watched as former Zarkonian soldiers worked alongside the very species they had once subjugated, rebuilding damaged worlds and establishing new trade routes. Admiral Genva proved to be a valuable ally. Her strategic mind now turned to the defense of free worlds against the looming threat of the Anti-Guardian Coalition. One evening, as Kira stood in Haven's observation dome, watching ships come and go, she sensed a presence beside her. It was the Guardian's avatar, its holographic form gazing out at the stars. "You seem troubled," the AI observed. Kira's antennae twitched. "I'm just thinking about how quickly everything has changed. A year ago, I was a farm worker who had never even seen the stars up close. Now I'm helping shape the future of the galaxy. It's overwhelming." The Guardian nodded. Humanity faced similar challenges in its history. Rapid change, the need to overcome old hatreds, the responsibility of wielding great power. They didn't always succeed, but they never stopped trying to be better. "Do you think we're doing the right thing?" Kira asked. "Allying with the Zarkonians, preparing for war against the Coalition." "There's rarely a clear, right path in matters like these," the Guardian replied. "But by staying true to principles of compassion, growth, and the fundamental rights of all sentient beings, we give ourselves the best chance of building a better future." As they spoke, a priority alert flashed across the station's information networks. The Crex Imperium had launched an assault on a free world at the edge of former Zarkonian space. The Coalition was making its move. Kira straightened, feeling a mix of fear and determination. "I suppose it's time to put our new alliance to the test," she said.